Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And this morning, I want to tell you some interesting news about these Retevis RT21 two-way radios. This is a pair you get for $53 off of Amazon, and these are much more than walkie-talkies. And I'm going to try to show you what I mean. And the secret is the programming software and cable. So I finally got the cable from Retevis. It got hung up in the post office transfer, so it took almost 5 days to get it. It should have only taken 2. But anyway, I got it late yesterday. So here it is. And then down here is, it doesn't come with it, the programming cable, and it's $9. So if you want to get one of these and use them to their fullest capabilities, be sure to order one of these programming cables. Now, this cable is also, I believe, because it does say right here, Bofang UV5R radio. I think it's the same cable that's used on the Bofang radios, which the connector on the radio looks exactly the same, and then the other end is USB. So anyway, let me go to, anyway, let me try to show you. I'm not seeing what my camera is showing you, but here is the radio, and here's the cable, which is similar to the cable that it comes with for the microphone earplug gizmo right here. That two connector or 2-prong connector. And so you plug it in the same location into the headphones and microphones connector. And then, now, what I struggled with is what comes with the cable is a disc with the software on it. It has the drivers and the programming software. Well, I looked through the documentation and it did not mention Windows 10 drivers. And I tried running it and I couldn't, it wouldn't recognize the radio. So I said, okay, let's go to their website, because a lot of times they make these discs way in advance when the product first comes out and it's not upgraded to the latest operating system. It's quite common. So I went to their website, I downloaded the driver, the USB driver, and the programming software, and it worked. So that's what I would suggest you do. So here it is, I have it open. If it looks familiar, it is very familiar. When I got my Bofang radios, this was several years ago, there was a program, a free program called Chirp, C-H-I-R-P, and it programmed a whole bunch of radios. This is basically a version of Chirp, and you can actually download from the Retevis website Chirp. I don't know, because I haven't used Chirp in a long time, I don't know what the differences are. This has everything you need. Now, what this shows you is that there's a whole bunch of things you can do with these radios. For instance, you can, and I wish I could make this bigger, but I can't, or I don't know how. You can program the receive frequencies and the transmit frequencies for every channel. So instead of them being simplex, meaning the receive and transmit frequencies are the same, they could be duplex, in that they could be different. You can program in both receive and send the CTCS or /DCS codes, which are codes to tell the radios to only talk to the other radio that has that code to decode it. So it's kind of a way to encrypt, not really encrypt, but what happens is when you turn this feature on, when you transmit, it sends out a signal at the frequency that you've designated. And then the other radio that's receiving has to have its receive set up to recognize that signal. Otherwise, it doesn't hear or doesn't let you hear the signal. So this is the default configuration, except for one thing, and I'll tell you that in a minute. So they have already programmed these in here. What is surprising is that a couple of things that's surprising. I haven't checked all these frequencies, but channel 16 is, I believe, I looked it up and I kind of verified it, I believe it's not the FRS channel 16. It's the GMRS channel 16 frequency. And on this frequency, on this channel, I've been getting a lot of communications from a local business that's about a mile from me. What's surprising is, according to these two columns over here, these radios come from the factory with these codes turned on. So that means the company, whatever radios they're using, and maybe they're using these radios, have that same code turned on. So that's the only way I'm receiving it, theoretically. Now maybe I'm missing something here. Anyway, you can also change the power output from low to high. I don't remember what low is, but I believe high on this radio is 2 watts. Then, something I mentioned in a previous show, you can have the radio scan the various channels. And so you can put it in a scan mode, which is, to me, is a good feature, an important feature. So I manually had to go through each of these channels and changed it from, I'll show you what it does. Change it to delete, meaning it doesn't scan, to add. So I manually changed it all to add, and I rewrote the configuration back into the radio. So then I said, in the manual it tells you about the scan feature. It says to hold down the monitor button and it'll go into scan mode. It wouldn't do that. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Well, it turns out there's other things you can set. I mean, this is bizarre. I can't go through all of them. There's so many of them. Where is it? Here, you can set the channel information, which is what you're seeing now. You can set the function setup, the various additional function, and then you can designate what the keys are for, specifically what that monitor key is on the side of the radio. So I went here, and you need, because it doesn't default to that, you need to set it to scan, and then you can enable scan with that button. It normally defaults to monitor, which is you hold the button down and you can hear the signal, so it removes the squelch totally. So I want to close that. I don't want to change it. Close that. Then there's other things you can, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Where'd it go? Functions. There's different functions you can set out. You can set a timeout, time, how long it stays on a station when it receives a signal. Timeout warning time, I'm not sure what that is. Squelch level, here's where you set the squelch. It doesn't have any squelch knob on the radio. Here's where you set it. And then you can set the voice prompts to either English or Chinese. You can have it have a box voice activated feature so that you don't have to push to talk. It just, when your voice reaches a certain level, it will transmit. So back when I was giving you the demonstration about how it can be used in-house, in your house, for a person that's sick, you could have this box turned on, and he wouldn't even have to pick up the radio and push the button. He just could talk loud enough, it would transmit it, and you would hear it. Cool. and there's a battery saver mode, and then there's a scramble enable. It's just some kind of encryption or something. I'm not sure, but supposedly if you turn on scramble enable, then the transmissions are somehow encrypted. I'm not too sure about that. Let me look at the help. Let's click on help here, and scramble activation. You can configure whether the built-in scrambler is enabled after power on or power down. Doesn't really tell you what that is, but supposedly it's some kind of encryption so that nobody else can receive your or understand your transmissions. Pretty cool. I have to try that one just for the heck of it. So anyway, this is just a brief sampling of the things you can do using this programming software. You can change the channel spacing from high to low. Then there's just more. I'm not sure what more is. Anyway, and then if you want to, instead of modifying it on the screen here, you can select channel. You can select the channel, and then go to channel edit, and then it gives you it in a little different format. So many things you can do with this software. And then once you've done it, you can save it, so you can have different setups. Save it to your hard drive, and then you can come here and write to the radio the changes you've made. Isn't that awesome? So these are much more than your standard walkie-talkies. Much more. Check them out. I just put them, or did I? If I haven't put them in, I'm putting them in my Amazon store because I think they're a good value. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up and have a great day. Bye-bye.